Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among rolling hills and ancient temples, a Buddhist hotline hummed with quiet devotion. Here, within modest walls, monks sat in meditative silence, their voices soft and soothing as they answered the calls of those burdened by worries and the pangs of a troubled heart. Among these monks was Brother Tenchi, his shaven head bowed in contemplation, his eyes reflecting the wisdom of years dedicated to the teachings of the Buddha. While many sought his counsel, one caller lingered in his heart, a young woman he knew simply as Maya. Maya's voice was a tremor on the line, a symphony of unexpressed fears and concealed sorrows. Though Tenchi could offer her words of compassion, he sensed a deeper malaise, an unease no simple platitude could touch. One moonlit evening, a knock echoed through the monastery. A villager stood at the gate, his face creased with concern. "The miller's daughter, Maya," he rasped. "She has wandered into the hills. We fear she means to do herself harm." Brother Tenchi felt his heart clench. Maya's veiled vulnerability echoed back to him, the fleeting hints of a darkness he had long suspected. Taking up his walking stick and a simple robe, he followed the villager into the hushed night. The forest wrapped itself around them like a living thing, its dense canopy muffling their footsteps. Owls hooted, a mournful chorus accompanying Tenchi's desperate search. His thoughts raced. What inner storm had driven Maya to such a desolate place? Hours later, as the first rays of dawn painted the sky, he spotted a figure huddled against a moss-covered boulder. It was Maya, her slender form trembling, her tear-streaked face turned upwards to the encroaching light. "Maya," Tenchi whispered, approaching her with gentle strides. Her head snapped up, and a gasp of astonishment fluttered across her lips. "Brother Tenchi," she stammered. What are you doing here?" "The villagers were worried," he replied, settling down beside her. "They told me you had left." Shame washed over Maya's face, her features crumpling into a mask of despair. "I couldn't bear it anymore," she sobbed. "The voices in my head, the ache in my heart. It's all too much. I just wanted it to end." Tenchi placed a warm palm on her shoulder, a silent gesture of support. He understood the weight of those words, the insidious way a troubled mind could coil around its host, whispering lies in the darkness. "And what is it, Maya, that your heart aches for?" he asked softly. Her words tumbled up in a torrent. She spoke of her father, the miller, his heart hardened by years of toil. She spoke of her mother, swallowed by a lingering illness, leaving a chasm of grief behind. She spoke of a feeling of being trapped, her spirit a caged bird within the confines of her small village life. Tenchi listened, his silence a balm on her wounded soul. There was an ancient wisdom in his stillness, a quiet acceptance of pain that offered a strange sort of comfort. "Loneliness is a terrible burden," he said finally, his voice low and resonant. "But it is not a truth, Maya. It is a fleeting feeling, like the mist rolling over those hills." He gestured towards the distant peaks veiled in a silver haze. Maya followed his gaze, her tears slowly subsiding. "Our minds can be our greatest enemies," Tenchi continued. "They weave tales of isolation and unworthiness. Yet we are never truly alone. Just as the sun rises despite the clouds, joy can find its way through the darkest of nights." A flicker of curiosity appeared in Maya's eyes. For so long, she'd only seen the shadows, her world reduced to shades of gray. Yet Tenchi's words hinted at light, a possibility buried deep within.